All right. I wanted to now go and look a little bit into the class so that we can get an understanding of how the next 3 or 4 weeks are going to work for us. And again, like I kind of mentioned in the intro video here, the the next several weeks as we get into groups will be synchronic, meaning you need to kind of work with the group on a timeline, whereas everything previously can basically be done, now. So if you haven't done some of the items in the past, some of the discussions from the past, you can still do those and get partial credit. But in the group work that is going to be kind of coming together in the next few weeks, you need to be able to do that at the same time in order to kind of make it happen as a group. So let me kind of generally explain, I guess, the purpose and the process that's going to happen in the next couple weeks. Again, the purpose of the group work that's going to happen is for you in a group to analyze Watchmen using a literary theory. And so you're going to use that theory as a lens to kind of help you kind of see things in the text, to highlight certain details or facts or ideas that are presented in Watchmen, and then that's going to help you kind of create a meaning or interpretation from through using that lens. Okay, and so then the process here is going to be, well, the first week we're going to read about lit theory, talk about lit theory, and then in week 7, I'm going to have you start reading Watchmen, the first 4 chapters. And you'll talk about Watchmen, and then also, if you would, before that time, start to choose a lit theory, and then you'll select that theory, self-select that theory, hopefully in week 7 or so, and then we have week 7, 8, and 9 for you to discuss them in the group, in the small group there, with about maybe anywhere from 6 to 8 members. And then also create a presentation. You create a Google presentation. I've already created the templates for you. You basically just have to add slides. And the requirement there for this group to get full credit in the group is basically to post in the group several times. I think it's like 5 posts you need to do. And then also to create 3 slides. Make sure you put your name on any slide that you create. Even if it's a shared slide, you just put your name, add it to the person who started it. Sometimes we can share slides or do them together, and that's fine. But just you need to have a name on each slide. That's how I give you credit for that group project. Okay. So again, what you should note here is I want to look here, I guess, at this Watchmen unit, mapping the unit, and then notice that this week 6 that we're in right now is just kind of helping you understand and finish MacLeod, but then also talk about lit theory, and then at some point, you're going to need to choose a lit theory. And how do you do that? Well, first thing you do is to click on this choose a lit theory thing, kind of link, and then you'll kind of type your name into, it should work right here on the page. You kind of type your name into one of these different groups. And then after you type your name in there, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily in that group. After you do that, then you go and you kind of self-select the group in the same way that we did with Graphic Witness. What you're going to do is you're going to click on the people link over here, and then go to groups, and then self-select the group that you choose. Okay. If you're having trouble with that, let me know, and I can just kind of plop you into the groups. Also know that I guess at the end of week 7, probably about the same time that I'm releasing these videos, like on the Friday of that week 7, so next week, 2 weeks from now actually, then I will just put people in groups, I think, if they don't select. So do know that if you don't select, then I'm going to end up kind of pushing you into a group. All right. So if we go back to the mapping the unit page, this is kind of the pages that you see at the beginning of each unit. You can kind of see what it is I'm asking you to do here in the process. And so you would read Watchmen pages 1 to 4. You can discuss Watchmen a little bit, and then make sure you choose a lit theory, doing the same thing I just showed you a moment ago by putting your name in the Google document first, and then going to people and putting yourself in that group. So placing yourself in that group. And then you're going to kind of, finish reading Watchmen, and then go ahead and post in your group, kind of discussing it in that group. I don't tell you what to post exactly, or even when to post exactly. As you have about a 2-week period to kind of discuss it. And at the same time you're discussing it, you're trying to discuss how are we going to kind of create a presentation that both explains our lit theory and how we interpret the text using our lit theory. Okay, so that would happen in your discussion. So once you sign up for that group, when you click on the lit theory groups, that's the one you'll be in. So you should see only your group members work there. And once you click into that group is also where you'll find the template. So only once you've assigned yourself to a group, or I've assigned you to one, will you see the template, and then you can start kind of manipulating the template inside of that group. So it's a shared link that then you can kind of start to play with, and don't feel like you can hurt it or anything. You can't hurt it, so just try to play with it. You can change the style and the colors and anything you want to when you're creating the presentation. And then in week 10, that presentation will go live, and other people will kind of look at your presentations. It's just click through them pretty quickly, I guess, and take a look at what you have come up with in terms of what you see the meaning of Watchmen through that lens, and then they'll kind of respond to a couple of the other group presentations. Okay, so I want to kind of give you a sense in this screencast of kind of what is happening and the change that's happening in the class, so that you could be sure to take advantage of the fact that you can still go back and do the discussions from any of the first units, from Barefoot Gen. If you didn't, post there, you can still do that for partial credit, and Graphic Witness for partial credit, and for Mouse for partial credit. And then this next week, we're going to start to look at lit theory a little bit and start to make choices about which one you want to explore a little more in detail. Then we'll start reading Watchmen, and then start to kind of go in groupify. We'll groupify into different groups. So let's hope that is working. And I figured out, I guess, how to move it from the screen to my face, and which is not a pretty sight to see. But anyhow, let's wrap this up. Thank you for participating in the class. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the questions link, or even here, I think, in the announcements area, and I'll get back to you, or other people can respond to. And I hope you do enjoy Watchmen and understanding comics. All right.